Long ago, in a kingdom where truth had become rare, nestled a small village called Moorvale. In Moorvale, people had stopped telling the truth. They didn't lie out of malice, they lied out of habit. To keep peace, to sound important, to avoid trouble. "I'm happy," said the mother with tears in her eyes. "I love my job," muttered the baker with burnt fingers. "I'm fine," whispered the boy with bruises on his arm. They all smiled, nodded, and hid their truths. The king himself once decreed, "The truth only causes pain. Let everyone pretend, and all shall live in peace." And so they did. Outside the village, near the forest's edge, lived a donkey named Bruno. He was old, slow, and had one droopy ear. Every day, he wandered the roads hoping someone might want him to carry goods, pull a cart, or even keep company. But everyone said the same thing. "Sorry, you're too old. You're too slow. You're too honest." Because here's the thing, Bruno spoke. Yes, he talked. And whatever he said was always the truth. Painfully honest, uncomfortably blunt, deeply real. He once told a noblewoman, "Your jewels sparkle, but your heart doesn't." Another time, he told a farmer, "You yell at your son because your father yelled at you." People hated it. They didn't want the truth. They wanted silence, or at least something nice. So Bruno walked alone. One morning, Bruno found a girl crying beside a broken cart. She was maybe 10, with dirt on her cheeks and torn shoes. "Why do you cry?" Bruno asked, gently. The girl jumped. "You can talk." "Yes, I'm also very good at listening." She sniffled. "I was taking apples to market. The cart broke. Papa will be mad." Bruno sat beside her. "Truth?" he asked. She nodded. "Your father won't be mad about the cart. He'll be mad because he's scared. Scared that you'll grow up too fast, or leave one day, or that he's not a good father." The girl blinked. Nobody had ever told her that. "You want a ride?" Bruno asked. She smiled. Bruno carried the girl Mail on his back as they brought the apples to market in Moorvale. People stared. A donkey in the village? And talking? "Oh no," whispers rippled through the crowd. "Is that the one who—" "Yes, the truth teller." Someone threw a tomato. Another shouted, "Liar." Bruno just bowed his head, but Mela jumped down. "Stop it, he helped me." An old woman scowled. "That beast ruins reputations." Another merchant said, "He told my husband I was lonely." Bruno raised his head. "Were you?" The woman paused, then looked away. Word spread quickly, as it always does. A talking donkey in Moorvale? One who told truths? It reached the castle gates. Now, the queen of the land, Queen Illyra, had fallen ill months ago. Doctors couldn't explain it. She slept little, wept often, and would stare at the sky like she was waiting for something to return. Priests blamed curses. Scholars blamed the stars, but no one asked her. The king, desperate and afraid, summoned the donkey. Bruno was brought before the royal court. He bowed low. The king spoke first. "If you truly speak the truth, tell me what is wrong with my wife." Bruno looked at the pale queen, then at the frightened king. "Do you want the real truth?" he asked softly. "Of course. No matter how it sounds?" The king hesitated. "Yes." Bruno turned to the queen and said, "You are not sick. You are lonely. You married a man who rules a kingdom, but no longer sees the woman beside him." Gasps filled the room. The queen's eyes filled with tears. The king turned red, but then he sat down. "You're right," he whispered. No one had dared say it. Word of Bruno's honesty spread beyond Moorvale. Some called him a miracle. Others called him dangerous. The High Court declared, We cannot allow a beast to speak truths no human dares. Bruno was arrested, charged with disturbance of false peace. Mela cried as soldiers dragged him away. But the queen intervened. She demanded a trial not just for Bruno, but for truth itself. All of you fear the truth, she said. Yet you wonder why we suffer in silence. So the trial began. To determine whether truth had value, the judges gave Bruno 3 tasks. Tell a truth that heals. Tell a truth that hurts. Tell a truth that saves. The healing truth. Bruno approached an old knight whose hand shook from age. You feel useless now, like your time has passed. But your stories light the fire in young hearts. That is not useless. The knight wept. The hurting truth. Bruno faced the wealthiest merchant. You smile in gold, but your son hasn't spoken to you in years. You chose coins over connection. The merchant turned away. The saving truth. Finally, Bruno stood before the king. The people nod when you speak, but they no longer trust you. They want a leader who feels, not just one who commands. Silence, then applause. From the people, the court, even the king. Bruno passed the trial. In honor of Bruno, the queen declared a new tradition, the Festival of Honest Words. Once a year, everyone would speak one truth aloud, something they were afraid to say. The first festival was quiet. A mother admitted she was tired. A boy said he didn't want to be a blacksmith. A woman whispered she missed her sister. Then someone shouted, I'm not happy in this marriage. Gasps, and then laughter. People hugged, cried, danced. It was messy, but real. Bruno became a legend. Not for power, not for wealth, but for reminding people that truth is not the enemy. He spent his days in a cozy barn behind the castle, visited daily by children, poets, and even nobles seeking counsel. Mela visited every week, riding on his back through the countryside. Are you ever scared to speak the truth? She once asked. Bruno smiled. Always, but I do it anyway, because pretending is easy, but truth sets us free. Even now, in the far corners of the world, tales are told of the donkey who spoke the truth. Some say if you close your eyes and ask yourself a question you've avoided, you might hear a gentle voice say, do you really want to know the answer? And if you say yes, you'll hear the truth you need, from the one who dared to speak when no one else would. Bruno the donkey who spoke the truth. Moral of the story. Truth can sting, but silence wounds deeper. One honest voice, even from a donkey, can wake a world asleep in lies. Speak with kindness, listen with courage, and never fear the truth when it comes wrapped in love.